Following the line, they walked into another hallway. It feels like this place is just a network of hallways, Claire thought to herself, slanting her lips. This time, there were no posters on the wall. Instead of metal covering the walls, there was just some kind of carpeting. Are they trying to dampen the sound? Hannah wondered out loud. To make sure that people leaving the viewing area don't disturb the next group? It hadn't occurred to Claire that this may have been the case, but after thinking about it, the idea of sound dampening being used made sense. She thought back to the brand new cinemas that had opened, which had a similar setup for when people enter after getting some snacks from the concession stands. It's pretty dark in this hallway, Claire said to Hannah, putting it together with the sound dampening system. Dim lights lined the corners of the hallway. It was bright enough for them to see where they were going as they made their way to be tested. As the hallway ended with large swinging doors, detecting their movement, the doors opened and revealed another set. Passing through the first doorway, the door closed behind them. The second set opened when the first ones closed. Walking through the second set of doors, Claire saw a large room with a dozen raised floors. On top of them was a terminal, which looked like the ones at the top of the shelter when they first came in. Large screens were surrounding each of the terminals, some facing inwards and some facing outwards. Next to each raised floor was a Darlena waiting patiently. "Welcome, Claire and Hannah," the Darlena nearest to them greeted. Another Darlena approached them. "The two of us will be helping you through the testing portion of becoming an adventurer," the Darlena that initially greeted them explained. It moved close to Claire while the other moved to Hannah. "Yes," Hannah's Darlena nodded its head. "If you'd follow me, Hannah?" It motioned for Hannah to walk up to one of the raised floors. "If you'd follow me, Claire?" the Darlena paired with her asked. Though she didn't have anything to worry about, for some reason, her heart beat faster. "There's no need to be nervous, Claire. The process is painless and will be over before you know it. It's completely non-invasive," Darlena tried to reassure Claire. Slowly breathing in, an attempt to calm herself, Claire nodded her head jerkily. Walking onto the raised floor, she approached the terminal. Just like the ones she had used when first arriving at the shelter, Claire placed a hand on the screen. "Try to hold as still as possible during the process. We're pulling in the necessary data," Darlena advised her. There was a feeling of awkwardness standing by the terminal with a hand on the screen, not knowing when the process was going to be concluded. Looking up at the screen, Claire saw an image of herself being created. It appears they're performing some kind of scan, though it's definitely more advanced than what they have in hospitals. "Please refrain from too much movement," Darlena reminded her after Claire looked up at the screens. Claire was about to look at the robot before realizing she'd likely be chastised again for moving instead of standing still. A part of her wanted to check out how Hannah was doing, but fought the urge to do so. "Finished," Darlena said in a cheerful voice. Feeling as though a weight was lifted off from her shoulders, Claire directed her attention to the robot. "So, what's the result?" Having no reference point, Claire didn't know what to think about whether the time the process took was a good or bad thing. "From what the scan discovered, your level is 4. The average person in your age group is 2, meaning the gifts you've received have already started to show," Darlena said. "Is that a good thing?" Claire didn't understand what to think about the number. Darlena smiled. "Yes, it's a good thing. Your body is slightly better compared to your peers. But what's more important is the rate at which your body is taking in energy. Between your level and the rate, I would say the rate is more important. You're deemed to have a B in terms of your absorption rate. Normally a human will start at an E. Claire gasped in shock at hearing the news. Nodding understandingly, Darlena said, "I agree. It's quite shocking. You are quite fortunate to have made the connections you did, though this doesn't mean you can slack. A person's absorption rate can fluctuate, whether going up from training and equipment or go down from inactivity. You can think of it as being a muscle. Though deterioration isn't great and may even take years, you'll eventually see it drop down to an E if you don't take appropriate measures." Darlena had a no-nonsense expression, as though to drive its point home.